Give it a second. All right. O merciful Creator, your hand is open wide to satisfy the needs of every living creature. Make us thankful for your loving providence and grant that we, remembering the account that we must one day give, may be faithful stewards of your good gifts. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
District 1, Commissioner Oakley.
Here.
District 2, Commissioner Waitman. District 3, Commissioner Starkey. Here. District 4, Commissioner Bradford.
Here.
District 5, Chairman Mariano.
Here. Now is the time for public comment. Citizens are given an opportunity to comment on any current or future agenda board item or any other business under the board's purview. Today's public comment will be handled as follows. First, we'll take public comment for those who are in person. Then, Commissioner Waitman's here?
No, he's on the phone.
Okay. First, we will take public comment for those who are in person. Then we will take public comment for those who have pre-registered for a WebEx link and are currently on queue. We request that when you address the board, comments are not directed personally against a commissioner or team member, but rather directed at the issues. This provides mutual respect between the board members and the public. After stating a name and address for the clerk, a 3-minute timer will be activated. After 2 minutes, a single beep will indicate you have 1 minute left. When your time is up, 2 beeps will sound and you should close your comments. WebEx participants will be disconnected automatically when their time is up. Madam Clerk, do we have anyone signed up for public comment?
We do have 2 individuals. First, Kristen Quintrall, followed by Tammy Cook.
Kristen Quintrell, 32855 Estate Garden Drive. So I was here last month. I don't know if you remember me. I was talking about the big underdevelopment that's between State Road 54 and Overpass and Curly and Handcart. They're big plans, huge plans, and I was very concerned about the only way in and out of this development being Watergrass Parkway. And I was hoping for construction route access or just fast, tracking all of the plans that we have for roads going in and out. And kind of the answer that I was given after the fact was, sorry, there's nothing we can do. So I'm just back, hoping that maybe somebody will reconsider. Just in the last month, we've seen the beginnings of it. They're, flattening out the land. They're built, there's a lot going on. And already, in just a month, Watergrass Parkway is starting to uneven. And this has just been 1 month of it. So I am imploring you again, if maybe we could get a construction truck route, just one other access point to this huge development to not just be Watergrass Parkway. Watergrass Parkway right now is about the length of 1 block. It's a tiny little road that dead ends into a cow field. It's never, no one travels it besides our little neighborhood at the very back. So now to have all of these giant, huge, heavy construction trucks, they will just demolish Watergrass Parkway, just like Old Bridge Road, which is riddled with potholes. So I'm asking maybe if we could extend Wells, which I know it's already in the plans. I believe it's called Hilton in the plans, to Island, to Handcart, to Curly, extend Watergrass Parkway all the way to River Glen, to 54, just something, give them one other access point. And I also wanted to know if there was any update on this golf cart ordinance, anything to make our community and a lot of Pasco County whole, if you had any information on that, or if a timeline, anything like that. So that's it.
Yeah. Is that your district? Or
That's my district, yeah.
Okay. So maybe directly with Commissioner Whitley.
I'll get you with, yes, there you go.
I see a hand wave in the back. Nick, you're in?
Come and meet
Nick,
with
if you
her
would.
right now, if you will, for a little bit, Nick, and he'll give you a lineup of things that are going to happen out there in Watergrass. So
Okay.
some of it deals with engineering. It takes time. So
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi,
I'm Tammy Cook. I live at 7345 Blue Stem Court, Wesley Chapel, in the community of Watergrass. Thank you all for your time and for this opportunity to speak with you. On May 9th, 2023, you passed a no-through trucks ordinance on Old Bridge Road to prevent further deterioration. While we appreciate your efforts, unfortunately, this ordinance has proven unsuccessful in execution as we are unable to gain enforcement from the sheriff's office for the trucking companies to comply. In fact, truck traffic has actually increased since the ordinance was passed. And I don't know if the photos are going to be available. I need the photos. It's increased since the ordinance was passed, and we have quite a bit of new damage surfacing all along Old Bridge Road. According to Pasco County engineers, repairs won't even begin until next year. We don't have the luxury for this road to give way due to the trucks disregarding the ordinance. This is our only way in and out of our homes. We need our fragile road to last. We've spoken to the Sheriff's Department to request directed patrols, submitted traffic violation forms, asked traffic operations to bring back the electronic message boards, and to add permanent signages to all the lights at both entrances of Watergrass. None of these requests have come to fruition. Without clear signages and active law enforcement resulting in citations, Old Bridge Road is continuing to rapidly disintegrate. We need your help in implementing resources to compel the trucking companies to comply. Next, we've been informed that you've required the developer of the Depew East MPUD to include Vita's way to monitor traffic congestion on Overpass Road and Old Bridge Road, then to construct additional roads when traffic on existing roadways is projected to exceed their capacities. As I've mentioned, structurally, traffic on existing roadways is already exceeding capacities. We've also observed first responders unable to get through Old Bridge traffic to respond to an accident involving children last month. I've sent all of your offices the video footage of this event. There are school bus stops on Watergrass Parkway and children who ride bikes to school on that road. It wasn't built to withstand masses of construction vehicles. Please do not ask Watergrass residents to endure this. Last, the latest information.
You have a minute.
Good minute, yeah.
You have one more.
Last, the latest information we've received from the county engineers is that the extension project on Overpass Road to Handcart has been expedited, that right-of-way acquisition is funded in fiscal year 24 and construction is to begin fiscal year 26. Can you please elaborate on this new timeline? To confirm, are we to understand that right-of-way is now completely funded? The need for this road is crucial. Pasco County residents have signed a petition for this to be started ASAP. I forwarded this petition to all of your offices via email and have projected it here for your reference. As of today, we have almost 300 signatures and the list is growing. Old Bridge Road's design was never intended to serve as the main artery for the area, and its current usage far exceeds its original intended capacity. The overpass extension is the only viable option. Thank you for your
Thank you.
Thank you. Also, Nick, will you talk to her and give her all the information? So, thank you.
Is that it for public comment?
There is no one signed up virtually.
Anyone else from the audience who would like to speak to the board? Is there anyone in WebEx?
There is no one. No.
All right, we will close public comment. Next order of business, the consent agenda. Oh, no, now it's time for resolutions. Would you please read the first resolution?
Okay, is there anyone here for National Friends of the Library Week? If so, please come to the podium. All right, this is resolution number 24-004, a resolution by the Board of County Commissioners of Pasco County, Florida, declaring the week of October 15th through 21st, 2023, as National Friends of the Library Week in Pasco County. Whereas the Friends of Pasco County Library Systems, Inc. is a not-for-profit organization of citizens who share a passionate commitment to a strong public library system. The 8-branch specific Friends groups, along with the countywide Friends organization, strive to build a strong relationship between the Pasco County Library System and the community through volunteering, fundraising, and advocacy. And whereas the continued support of the Friends organization emphasizes the fact that our library system remains a cornerstone for the community it serves, while providing opportunities for all to engage in the joy of lifelong learning and to connect with the thoughts and ideas of others from ages past to present. And whereas the Friends understand the critical importance of well-funded libraries to advocate to ensure that our library system obtains the resources it needs to provide a wide variety of services to all ages, including story time, summer reading, arts, culture, and technology programs. And whereas the Friends work persistently to show their support for the library system and are vital members of our community. The Friends' gift of their time and commitment to the library sets an example for all in how volunteerism leads to positive civic engagement and the betterment of our community. And whereas the Friends of the Pasco County Library System is always welcoming new volunteers, and those wishing to become a friend of the library can contact their local branch or visit the Pasco Library's website to learn more. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Pasco County, Florida, that said board hereby declares the week of October 15th through 21st, 2023, as a National Friends of the Library Week in Pasco County, and urges everyone to join the Friends of the Library and thank them for serving our community to create a better future. Done and resolved in regular session with a quorum present and voting this 10th day of October, 2023.
Move approval.
I don't know where she went.
I'll do a second.
And you
All
can,
in-
by Robert.
I can do it, I can do
rule,
a
you
second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I could roll call vote. Do a roll call, please.
Sorry, let me find that. District 1, Commissioner Oakley.
Aye.
District 2, Commissioner Waitman.
Aye.
Is he on yet? There he is. Welcome, Commissioner Waitman. District 3, Commissioner Starkey. Here. District 4, Commissioner Bradford. District 4, Commissioner Bradford.
Aye.
Thank you, sir. And then District 5, Chairman Mariano.
Aye. Commissioner Oakley.
What a great time to come and have a celebration of a week of library week for Hugh Embry Library that just had ribbon cutting on their new construction they did for that library. And I think it's been in existence since 1904, which makes it, I believe, one of the oldest libraries in Pasco County, or if it's the largest. So Hugh Embry, I was surprised with the picture we unveiled at the ribbon cutting. He did not have gray hair. He had dark hair. He was a young man when he did this, so he really pretty well started a library system, probably for a lot of places other than here even. So, but he did a great job, great turnout we had there. So I'll turn it over to you, and one of you, who's going to speak for all, or two or three of you can speak? She's got it?
Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Roz Fenton. I'm president of the Pasco County Friends of the Library, and I want to thank the board for their recognition of all of the wonderful work that all of the Friends do for Pasco County Library System. And I want to turn and thank you all. You are just all spectacular, and the energy and fundraising and dedication to putting on wonderful programs. And I want to share that I love that we're taking a track in the county towards cultural programs, which are really, really wonderful. I say to patrons, isn't it great to see a fabulous concert at the Starkey Library Theater instead of paying $50, $60 to drive all the way to the Straws and pay a lot of money for a ticket? So I think I just want to thank you for your support. And if I may approach all of you, I have this a gift. It's a pen.
Move to receive and file.
It's a pen.
Okay.
That's been made.
Roz, they're not getting you on the thing. So just go ahead, here, we'll pass them out.
What you're being given is a brochure that goes over all of the great programs that the library offers. And it contains a wooden pen that's been made at the woodworking shop at the Land O'Lakes branch. We have a lot of wonderful maker spaces. We have a test kitchen. We have a fully professional recording studio. We have a wonderful theater. We just have so much that we can offer the public, and we are also taking over many things that the public school system has started to abandon somewhat because of budget. And we really reach out to the youth in our county to help develop their knowledge of, cultural programming, arts, reading, and you name it. So again, I want to thank you so much for everything, for all of your support.
I actually was at Collier Parkway and made, at the library, and made a pin for myself there.
Okay.
And each of y'all are surely welcome. They will help you do that. So it's a great program. They teach ukulele here in Dade City. They do woodworking there. And I think I've asked Sean to see about a woodworking introduction or something coming over here to Dade City sometime, so we could enjoy that too here, so.
Got to build a TLC.
Yep, so, go ahead.
Mr. Starkey.
Well, I'm so glad that everyone's enjoying our new cultural opportunities. We have a ways to go, but at least we've started. And I want to be sure that you all know that, and maybe you know this, there are many grants available in Tallahassee that all you have to do is apply. And we have seen the list from other counties of what they're getting. And I really, really would like you to apply every year for Culture Builds Florida or any other grants that are available. You don't have to have a legislator's approval on these. This is not an appropriation. The pot of money is there, it's recurring, and we have to apply. So I want to see it every year. Second, want to be sure everyone knows on November 1st at the Starkey TLC, we have our second Lectures on the Lawn. And this is a very special one. It's Carlton Ward Jr., and he is speaking about his new film and book, I think, on the Florida Panther. If you know Carlton Ward Jr., he is the one who did the documentaries on the Florida Wildlife Corridor, is the one who really pushed for that. And a friend of mine, Arnie Bellini, who sold a very large company and started a foundation called Live Wildly, is the one who went to Tallahassee and pushed for the money to be put in to finish purchasing the wildlife corridor and to really boost trails throughout the state. And Live Wildly Carlton discounted his fee for us, and then Live Wildly picked up the rest of the tab. So it's a very special evening at Starkey Ranch TLC. It's free to the public.
Yes.
We're gonna have food trucks and other food opportunities there, but I'm very excited for that opportunity for this county.
Very good. Well,
And last week, when we had our first Lectures on the Lawn, which was the reporter that just retired from the Times, Craig, what's his last name?
Pittman.
Craig Pittman, it was great. There was also a cricket class going on, and I don't know if anyone out there uses a cricket machine, but I have a couple of them, and I love them. It's a computerized crafting machine, and they had a full class with our first cricket class in the county, so I'm very excited about that.
Very good.
Thank you.
Commissioner Bradford? Like to add anything?
Yes, sir. I just want to add my 2 cents worth. It's a great, worthwhile endeavor, and anything I can do to help Commissioner Starkey sign for the team. Thank you.
All right. Commissioner Waitman?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Apologize I'm not there. Is my video on, Chairman? I do this right.
Not.
I don't see video, but we can hear you.
All right.
There you go.
There we go.
Hey, just a wonderful last week before it all blends in together, but fantastic reopening of the Land O'Lakes Library and fantastic energy and the maker space with the woodworking shop that Commissioner Oakley talked about. It's a unique amenity there. Normally you walk into a library and you get hushed, and in that particular one you can run chop saws and build things. So fantastic. And on the opposite end, there's a great reading space for our school kids for after school programs, and just the passion and the energy that the Friends of the Library have. It was just great to see, and the enthusiasm and excitement. So thank you for all your volunteer work and efforts, and for making these spaces worthwhile to our community. So congratulations to everyone.
Right.
You are very appreciated.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for all you folks, I greatly appreciate all the work you do. Libraries are very, very important to our lives. My mother loves reading the books with a large print all the time. Just having these extra opportunities for people to go. And Sean, with you back here now, looking at some great things coming, looking forward to everything. So,
Thank you. And again, we couldn't do it without your support. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And check out our webpage. Excellent stuff out there. So spread the word to your friends and family. Thank you.
very good.
I'm gonna come down, we'll take a picture.
We'll stay up
I guess y'all may wanna stay up.
Yeah, just gonna, so many people here.
Would have had not a board meeting.
That's right.
Well, you all would have only had 2 commissioners. You couldn't have been able to do anything.
You over there and do stuff every day.
Yeah, that would have been okay.
This group might be larger than the firefighters.
Go in.
I heard they were coming, I had to go all the way. Okay, folks, right here, please. All right, I think we are good. Thank you, appreciate
Now
it.
it's my turn. Thank you all very much.
All right. Yes.
RS2?
Okay. Now we are RS2.
Okay, so RS2, is anyone here for Manufacturing Month? If so, if you would please come to the podium.
And this is Commissioner Bradford's resolution, so
That's because I was not supposed to be here. Otherwise,
Okay.
it was mine.
well, we'll let you do the presentation.
Perfect. Okay, resolution number 24-002.
Hey, everyone. I'm Jeff Cole, President.
Hang on, Jeff.
Nope.
Hang on a second.
And good morning.
Yeah,
Hold on.
She's gonna read the
I'm going to
resolution,
read some
we'll get to you.
things, and then you can speak. Sounds good? All right. Okay, resolution number 24-002, a resolution by the Board of County Commissioners of Pasco County, Florida, declaring the month of October as Manufacturing Month and October 6, 2023 as Manufacturing Day in Pasco County. Whereas October is nationally recognized as Manufacturing Month and National Manufacturing Day is observed on the first Friday of October. Throughout the month, manufacturers across the county host students, teachers, parents, job seekers, and other local community members at open houses, plant tours, and presentations designed to showcase today's advanced manufacturing technology and high-wage career opportunities. And whereas during National Manufacturing Month and Manufacturing Day, we commit to strengthening and supporting the manufacturers and hardworking manufacturing employees of today, as well as the manufacturers of the future. And whereas the priorities of Manufacturing Month are to change the perception of careers in manufacturing to reflect its true status as the most advanced, high-tech industry in the country, reestablish the U.S. as a global leader of manufacturing education, advocate for education and job training policies that strengthen the U.S. manufacturing workforce, and inspire the next generation of manufacturers. And whereas Florida is taking steps to diversify its economy and strengthen its workforce by establishing a plan to invest in skills-based education to make Florida #1 in workforce education by 2030, so that companies can continue to draw from an outstanding pool of talent. And whereas Pasco County is fortunate to be home to many great manufacturing businesses, some of which are world leaders in their respective fields. And whereas by working with educational institutions, the Board of County Commissioners and local manufacturers have and continue to work together to connect with future generations, build the next generation of skilled manufacturing employees, take charge of the public image of manufacturing, and ensure the ongoing prosperity of the whole industry. And whereas Manufacturing Month and Manufacturing Day serve as opportunities to recognize all professionals, agencies, and organizations who bring value to Pasco County's manufacturing industry and economy. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Pasco County, Florida, that said board hereby declares the month of October as Manufacturing Month and October 6, 2023 as Manufacturing Day in Pasco County. Done and resolved in regular session with a quorum present and voting this 10th day of October, 2023.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, well, roll call vote.
District 1, Commissioner Oakley.
Aye.
District 2, Commissioner Waitman.
Aye.
District 3, Commissioner Starkey.
Aye.
District 4, Commissioner Bradford.
Aye.
District 5, Chairman Mariano.
Aye. Commissioner Starkey.
I want to jump in front of Bradford if he wants to say anything.
Okay, Commissioner Bradford.
This is a critically important area of our county. It's one of the things that we have to enhance, we have to support. We are no longer just a bedroom community. We just got to get away from building the houses in a suburban setting. But eventually, that's not going to be the Pasco we want to live in. So manufacturing plus the coast, maximizing the coast and enhancing the amenities of our coastline, which right now is, in my opinion, is not being done. I think it's a worthwhile endeavor. So I fully support it. I do want to thank Commissioner Starkey for handling this for me.
Commissioner Starkey.
Thank you, and welcome both of you. I'm sorry, I was in an important conversation outside, so I didn't get to say hi. And I was with you last week at a very important event. Manufacturing is so important to our economy and our country, and I think we all saw the importance of it during COVID when we couldn't get any of the things that we needed, and we had to depend on other countries for our own health and safety. And that's not a good position, in my opinion, for us to be in. So with the onset of advanced manufacturing, we have the ability to bring so many of these jobs back, and I'm so proud of this county and what we've done to help shore up our manufacturing companies in the Tampa Bay area. And with that, I'm going to let you guys speak, and then I'll close.
Well, hang on for a second. A couple of the commissioners there. Commissioner Oakley.
I don't have anything right now.
All right, Commissioner Waitman.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly important job. What makes Pasco will make Pasco go to the next level. And, it's important to work together, and you hear me talk about live local and protecting our job creating spaces, our job creating properties. It's important we align behind programs, career source, AM skills, you name it, that bring in folks to want to get trades and learn a trade and go into business, and that we have a site as a county that where folks can go to work at. So absolutely fantastic resolution here for manufacturing, and thank you for all the work.
Yeah. And, Pasco County has changed dramatically as far as being that bedroom community, creating jobs here. That double branch groundbreaking we just did was a huge boost to it. The AM skills opening, which I know Commissioner Starkey will have all sorts of, she's going to talk all about it there, but, they talk about there's so many jobs that are unfilled that just need to be trained. So, as well as helping our economy, we're helping national security. So, thank you guys so much for coming forward.
Yeah.
Commissioner Oakley.
Got thinking about my thoughts on this, and jobs are very, very important to Pasco County. We've been like a bedroom community to jobs elsewhere, and we've got a lot of jobs, starting with Double Branch coming into my district out here by 52 and 75, and in the pipeline of things that have not broke ground yet. There's 78 million square foot of commercial businesses and things of that nature coming into our area to also have jobs, and the job count is somewhere around 101,000 jobs affiliated with all those commercial properties that are coming into Pasco County. So it'll really be a change to our county to be one where you actually live, work, and play in your own county. You don't have to go to some other county to have a job. So it's good.
Exciting times. And if you would.
All right, thank you. So my name is Jeff Cole. I'm the president of the Bay Area Manufacturers Association, also a master instructor at AmSkills. Thank you, Commissioner Starkey, for recognizing the manufacturing industry. And Manufacturing Month is an annual national event executed locally with the support of thousands of manufacturers across the country, as well as they host students, teachers, parents, job seekers, and other local community members at open houses, plant tours, and presentations designed to showcase today's advanced manufacturing technology and high-wage career opportunities. Manufacturing Month is co-produced by the National Association of Manufacturers, Manufacturing Institute, and supported by the Bay Area Manufacturers Association and Florida Makes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you want to say anything?
Hello, I'm Beth Gallick. I'm the Executive Director of the Bay Area Manufacturers Association, and our mission is to advance Tampa Bay manufacturers through workforce development, networking, education, advocacy, and technology. One way that we like to do this is to meet the students, so to inform students about careers in manufacturing, and that's what Manufacturing Month is all about. On Friday, we hosted a virtual event where the students were given in advance, about 2 weeks before, video tours of manufacturing companies where the class could watch the videos. And then on Manufacturing Day, we had those manufacturers live on a Zoom meeting where the students could interact with the manufacturers one-on-one, ask questions, and find out a little bit more in detail about what careers in manufacturing look like. We reached over 630 students on Friday. So we are making an impact. We are promoting manufacturing as a viable career for our students and just trying to get the word out. So thank you again for recognizing Manufacturing Month. We appreciate all your efforts. Thank you.
Thank you. Now take a picture.
Let's go there.
It's a small group today.
Okay, folks, the phone first. Thank you. Perfect, thanks.
Go to RS3.
Yes, sir. Before we move to RS3, I just need a point of clarification. Commissioner Oakley moved to receive and file from the libraries under RS1, but there was no official second.
We need to receive a file, right?
It's up to you. If you don't want to, that's fine.
We accept.
Were you supposed to or not? I just
You don't
made a
necessarily
motion to
have to.
receive
and
and file.
You don't have to.
You don't have to, okay. I'm fine.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
All right, so moving on to RS3. Is there anyone here for National Community Planning Month? And if so, please come to the podium. All right, perfect. So our resolution number 24-003, a resolution by the Board of County Commissioners of Pasco County, Florida, declaring October 2023 as National Community Planning Month in Pasco County. Whereas the American Planning Association endorses National Community Planning Month as an opportunity to highlight how planning is essential to the future of building sustainable and equitable communities. And whereas the population of Pasco County has grown by 639% from 1970 to 2020, increasing the population by 485,936 residents. And whereas the Planning and Development Department has created innovative strategies to build successful, meaningful, and economically strategic places in the county that people can live, work, and play. doing so with major developments like Spiro's Connected City, Central Pasco Employment Village, the Gateway, the Newport Corners, while maintaining more than 20% of the county's total land area as conserved open or green space. And whereas the Planning and Development Department works to implement the community's vision for the future of the county with initiatives such as land use planning, transportation planning, urban design, economic and environmental resiliency, historical resources, the food policy, the update of the comprehensive plan, and Pasco 2050 to create opportunities for the community to partner on projects that will impact their communities and Pasco County as a whole. And whereas Pasco 2050 is a multi-year initiative to update the Pasco County Comprehensive Plan, and gratitude is extended to the community members and stakeholders that have participated in public workshops throughout the summer of 2023 in order for their input to be included in the county vision for the next 25 years and beyond. And whereas the celebration of National Community Planning Month gives the county the opportunity to publicly recognize the participation and dedication of the members of the Planning Commission, contributions of the professional community and regional planners, and the passion of the citizen planners in conjunction with the commitment of the Board of County Commissioners to improve Planning Month, and calls upon all Pasco County residents to join their fellow citizens across the United States in recognizing and participating in this special observance. Done and resolved in regular session with the quorum present and voting this 10th day of October 2023.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion to approve.
Roll call.
District 1 Commissioner Oakley.
Aye.
District 2 Commissioner Waitman.
Aye.
District 3 Commissioner Starkey.
Aye.
District 4 Commissioner Bradford.
Aye.
District 5 Chairman Mariano.
Aye. And Commissioner Bradford, yours again.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, fellow commissioners. Anytime I can be a part of the program to recognize county employees, I welcome it. Our county planners are very, very important as we build together a great Pasco County. Just think of what they do. Commissioner Wayman mentioned job creation. When you give somebody a job, it gives them self-respect. You give them self-respect, it has a lot of byproducts. Commissioner Starkey is with AmSkill. That's a great organization. Particularly excited about how some of them are getting into the national security aspect of our country. That's very, very exciting. Commissioner, Mr. Chair, you got your hand in everything, so that's a good thing. And you're a great resource for me, so don't stop. And leave anybody out? No, again. So anyway, just want to be a part of it. I want to thank the employees. I congratulate you. You're appreciated. And thanks for
Okay.
showing up.
Commissioner Oakley?
Take care.
I can tell you, being a planner in Pasco County gives you the greatest opportunity now to do something really great for your county. As employees, we respect your work you put out, but you have a great advantage to really do planning here in Pasco County because of all the growth that we're having and the way we would like things to look in our county to be better than any other place. So we appreciate all that y'all do. Thank you.
Commissioner Waitman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Sorry.
Hey, good morning, team. Y'all have a tough job, especially dealing with at least the 5 of us on game day. So we very much I appreciate y'all, all the work that you put in and having us, allowing us to challenge kind of the methodologies that are in place as we're growing. We're looking to improve and be better and provide quality builds and amenities for our county. And so I know y'all don't have a an easy job by any means, but very much appreciate your patience and the time you spend with me and my team as we work through different ideas and how to make our county the best place that we can to live and work and play and raise our families. So thank you all and congratulations.
Mr. Starkey.
Well, I think our planning department's one of the most important departments for sure in the county. And, you lay the foundation for what our county is going to look like and feel like and how we can enjoy it. So I love spending time with you guys and learning and putting my 2 cents in when I can, my uneducated 2 cents in, but I appreciate everything you do. And you guys have a big responsibility for sure. So thank you so much.
Mr. Carbella.
Yeah, I'd just like to add, similar to what everyone has said, we have a blank canvas of a county in a lot of areas. Some areas have developed, other areas are redeveloping, but the work that you do every day and really the passion that you guys have for what you do is it shows. I can tell even in the hard times as we talk about just some of the predicaments you guys have to be in and trying to help steer things along, that your passion is evident and that you truly care. And so we just thank you for the hard work and the jobs that you do.
I like to say the planning department is critical. I remember years ago first starting, they talked about putting new positions in. I says, get all you can because we've got a lot of planning to do. Every bit of growth that we do is going to affect the people living here as well as the ones coming in. If we get it right, we're going to get better and better. And I think the seeds that we've sown are showing up great things. I don't want to turn into a Miami. I don't want to turn into a place where you can't get around, people aren't happy. I think what we're doing is building a great quality of life where people can actually work and live in the same county, play in the same county, raise the families and keep the families in the county as well. So everything that you do is critical to us. And you'll have dialogues from us all the time with different districts, things that maybe come maybe in cross districts. And I tell you, Mike, when we did our briefing yesterday, I was so proud for you to tell me that we had one of the hearings that was coming up that's probably going to get continued was being debated by you guys internally to find out, is this thing really ready to come forward now? Or should they be working closely with what's going around it to make sure you get it right? And I salute you guys for jumping in and not having that fear to say, you know what, we need to just take a step back. Let's go find out what's going to happen in this quadrant and go. So that's the type of thing we want to see. We'll take a look at it. We know they're going to hear from the residents out of it, but when we know you guys are working behind the scenes to make a good quality life for our people, it helps us and just shows how much, it just lets us appreciate you that much more. Terry?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Commissioners. National Community Planning Month celebrates the collaboration between private citizens, businesses, and local governments for the improvement and the betterment of their communities. And so on behalf of the Planning and Development Department, I want to thank all of our planning partners, the BCC, the private and public partners, which would be our citizens and businesses, for all the collaboration that takes place here in Pasco, particularly as we did a number of outreach events this past summer for the Pasco 2050 Comprehensive Plan Update. We had a great turnout this year, and that's only possible with an engaged citizenry and an engaged stakeholder community. And I wanted to take a quick moment to thank the Planning and Development Department staff. I have with me here today members from the Long Range Planning Division. But particular shout outs also to the planning and zoning techs and the planning assistants that don't get to come all the way to Dade City in current planning, who do really great work every single day reviewing site plans. The planners on the MPUD team that look at the really tough projects, the long range planning staff itself, as well as our support staff in PDD Business Management and the Development Application Services team. It's a full team effort to make sure that due process is provided to the applicants that come into the county, and also to review those projects on behalf of the citizens of Pasco County. Special thanks also to the Planning Commission. Without them, we can't do much. We have to bring it to them first in order to bring them here to the Board of County Commissioners, to the Metropolitan Planning Organization, as well to our partners in the Office of Economic Growth, and also the Community Development Department and the other Pasco County departments, engineering services, utilities, et cetera. It is a full team effort to bring these projects forward and to see the county grow and develop.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you very much. Want to take a picture?
Do we go down or come out?
Let's go down. We have enough space. Okay, folks, right here first, please. Thank you.
Okay, RS4.
RS4.
All right. Actually, I see a whole group here for Fire Prevention Week. If you can approach the podium, please. All right, this is resolution number 24-001. A resolution by the Board of County Commissioners of Pasco County, Florida, declaring October 8th through the 14th as Fire Prevention Week in Pasco County. Whereas the Pasco County Board of County Commissioners is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting Pasco County. And whereas Pasco County Fire Rescue responded to 617 residential fires in 2022, and according to the National Fire Protection Association, home fires have caused more than 3,000 civilian deaths in the United States. And whereas cooking is the leading cause of home fires in the United States, and fire departments have responded to more than 166,400 annually between 2016 and 2020. And whereas 2 of every 5 home fires start in the kitchen, with 31% of these caused from unattended cooking. And whereas more than half of reported non-fatal home cooking fire injuries occurred when the victims tried to fight off the fire themselves. And whereas Pasco County residents should turn pot handles toward the back of the stove, always keeping a lid nearby when cooking, keep a 3-foot kid-free zone around the stove and other appliances that could get hot, watch what they heat, and set a timer to remind them that they are cooking. And whereas Pasco County residents who have planned and practiced a home fire space escape plan are more prepared and will therefore be more likely to survive a fire. And whereas working smoke alarms cut the risk of dying in home fires almost by half. And whereas first responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrences of home fires and injuries through prevention and protection education. And whereas the 2023 Fire Prevention Week theme, Cooking Safety Starts With You, Pay Attention to the Fire Prevention, effectively serves to remind us to stay alert and use caution when cooking to reduce the risk of kitchen fires. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Pasco County, Florida, that said board hereby proclaims October 8th through the 14th as Fire Prevention Week in Pasco County, and urges all Pasco County residents to check their kitchens for fire hazards and use safe cooking practices during Fire Prevention Week 2023. Done and resolved in regular session with a quorum present and voting this 10th day of October 2023.
Move approved. Second.
Okay.
Roll call vote.
District 1, Commissioner Oakley.
Aye.
District 2, Commissioner Waitman.
Aye.
District 3, Commissioner Starkey.
Aye.
District 4, Commissioner Bradford.
Aye.
District 5, Chairman Mariano.
Aye. Well, thank you all for being here today. This is very important. Prevention is critical. I think the more we can work on these ideas to prevent, the better off we're going to be, because we certainly don't want you guys in danger and anyone else that could suffer an injury. If we can prevent it, prevent it. And I see Jemeth Rosa from CARES over there. And Jemeth, I got an idea. So I worry about my mother sometimes cooking. She may forget, right? And I'm wondering if that's maybe a senior thing as well. Maybe. Okay, well, well, hey, we're getting up there. But Jemeth, maybe we could work with the chief and a team and actually start a prevention thing with CARES too, to kind of like, when we're talking to the seniors, maybe we could do some classes with them to kind of go over this, because there's really some really good points that are in here that may be beneficial for all. All right. And Chief? Oh, actually, no, Commissioner Starkey, sorry.
I want to say that I learned some things in that resolution. my staff, we're going to pick them out of there and we're going to put them in our next newsletter because there are some things that I never even thought of doing. And I have put things on the stove and walked away and forgot. So sorry about that. But some very good tips there that I will help spread the word. And thank you all for everything that you do. And I have really noticed, and I've made these comments to people, noticed that every time I've been on the road in almost the last month, I have seen one of your trucks going by with the lights on. It is amazing. Today I thought I would be behind one with the lights on the way here, but I think it was a fire truck returning from a call in River Ridge. But I'm just amazed, and I don't know if you've noticed that, but Trinity 5419, every day I see something. So we are under the gun, and I just appreciate everything you do.
Commissioner Oakley.
We see them working even on the east side. So right here, the station that's close to us, we see them going all the time. And we certainly appreciate everything everybody does in Pasco County for prevention of fire and helping our citizens all the way. And I will guarantee you, I will continue supporting the firefighters and EMS all the time as far as getting more stations. Those stations I really feel we need are those that are in between other stations that are already there that cuts that time down, cuts it a lot of times in half. And instead of 20 minutes, it's 10 minutes or 5 minutes. So certainly appreciate all your work because it takes a lot of planning and making things right to provide the service you do for our citizens. I surely thank you for that.
Yeah. Commissioner Waitman.
Good morning, everyone. Apologize, I'm not there today. I guess we need to talk to our partners over at the school board and bring back home ec after hearing some of these statistics. But no, it's like Commissioner Starkey was saying, this is some fantastic information. And it's easy to do. Young families busy, mom, dad trying to cook, get something going, kid crying, trying to just hang on. And that's just from living it every day. And it's easy accident to happen. And then you try to take control and maybe make things worse. So Fire Prevention Week and this level of detail, I very much appreciate. Learn something new, and appreciate y'all willing to run into these burning buildings as most people run, especially if it's their own fault because they leave a pot on the stove. So keep up the good work and keep safe out there serving our folks. Thank you.
Commissioner Bradford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Anytime I can put my 2 cents in to support our firefighters, count me in. I think they have a tremendously dangerous job. When all of us are not running to a fire, they are running to a fire. They see things that does not leave them. And there's lots of programs that we have for them to take advantage of that. The other thing I wanted to point out, I don't know how to articulate doing this, but that 30% about in the kitchen, you can count me out because that's not going to happen. So you can cut 30% off of Commissioner Brown. I'll help with the dishes. I'll do the dishes, but the cooking part, it's not a pretty sight. So again, I want to thank the chief and his team and everyone, and glad to be a part of the day. Thank you.
Okay. And Chief, I think you, and I hope all of you see that this commission does stand behind you. We appreciate the great work you do, the life-saving emphasis that you guys have, and what you do for our citizens is phenomenal. We're working hard to help you every step of the way. I know the Hudson Station is coming along, looking good. So the more we can do, we're going to keep on working together. We have to do a tough budget cycle, but we greatly appreciate the work you do. And if we can help and work with the school board, with CARES, to prevent more of these fires, please let us know what we can do to get the resources we need to as well. If you'd like to add.
So good morning and thank you. Thank you to every county commissioner here. Thank you for acknowledging Fire Prevention Week. It's a very, very important time in our industry in the fire service. And it's not just here in Pasco County, but across the country. We're taking the time to acknowledge, to educate, but I want to say I am extremely proud. I've been here since July 31st, and I've watched the Community Risk Reduction Division, and I've watched them, and I'm so proud of them, leading with Marshall Frum and Deputy Chief Boyette and his entire staff. I stand behind them. I know I'm going to be looking forward to delegating Marshall Frum and his team to team up with the school board, continue to educate those members to bridge the gap so we can be proactive in the fire service. And very, very proud of these men and women back behind me. And I'm going to allow Marshall Frum to say a few words because he is a catalyst and he leads this division, and I'm extremely proud of them, and as well as you all should be proud of them as well. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. Just like our friends of libraries, while I'm speaking to some points covering the division and the team we present this morning, we too come bearing gifts, so they're going to hand out some community risk swag, and it just reaffirms our appreciation for your continued support. While we have over 800 men and women on the forefronts at the ready to respond to calls for service, the team we present, they primarily focus on Commissioner Starkey and Commissioner Oakley not seeing those trucks going down the roads. So in a world of data-driven statistics, and we're always looking at that to set our budget and reaffirm our programs, there's no measurable statistic to count how many incidents these men and women of the team prevented. So of the 280,000 residential dwellings across the county, nearly 40,000 businesses, in the last 24 hours, only one of those experienced a very small fire.
Thank you.
So countless incidents by their efforts. And over the last year, this year to date, I just wanted to highlight some of that material. In the resolution, we spoke to some national data, but what we are doing subsequently to that to combat that is what the team does before you. Nearly 400 fire investigations were performed since the first of this year. Over 9,000 inspections performed in existing commercial occupancies, nearly 5,000 new construction inspections, over 50,000 public education engagements with community members. Most recently, on Sunday, we partnered with Antoine and his folks at Main Street, Zephyr Hills Police Department, Advent Health, Pasco Fire Professional Firefighters, the Benevolence, and the Charities to launch this year's Fire Prevention Week kickoff with a block party. Over 1,000 community members attended our block party on Sunday. Very well received, a lot of engagements with the community, disseminating this year's theme on safe kitchen practices. If you also recall, a little over 2 years ago, we came before you with the need for additional inspectors. We were inundated with new construction. We needed to reaffirm our position in the existing occupancies. You all unanimously supported the fee schedule, which we know was a difficult position to take. But with that, we've onboarded 9 of the 12 approved inspectors. And since that, we've performed over 16,000 inspections at commercial businesses across the county. We've implemented a robust RMS software that's going to give real-time data to our field crews with respect to the businesses, their systems, what we have going on in those businesses. And we've also included a virtual reinspection option for our business owners. So after our initial contact, if they do have outstanding violations and it's convenient on them and their schedule, they can create an online opportunity to do a virtual reinspection to ensure they're compliant. And the last thing that I wanted to highlight is none of our success would be possible without, first and foremost, the field operations, the men and women on the front lines of the department, our partners and relationships with internal and external stakeholders, Development Services Branch, Building Construction Services, Code Enforcement, Pasco County Sheriff's Office, and countless community partners and civic organizations. Mr. Steinschneider, your team, and the support from the County Attorney's Office, going back to Ms. Sims and Patrick Moore, second to none. And that's been first class with Ms. Jessica Rodriguez, Mr. Sam Boundy, and Ms. Lori Skinner. When it comes to the violations and the compliant component, they've been second to none, assisting us in gaining compliance. So we're indebted and thankful to them as well. So we appreciate the continued support, and we look forward to decreasing those numbers and getting those fire trucks out of Ms. Starkey's view. Well, thank you.
Appreciate all you're doing. Thank you. Commissioner Oakley, this might be a slightly larger crowd than we're used to, so maybe you guys stay up here.
There's no room down there.
Right, squish in, or we'll scoot in.
It doesn't matter. These tall guys back there, even the chief.
Right, we're sitting up here and they're so close.
I didn't know that he's tall firemen.
Question, I can't find the description of it.
Which one?
It's the water, or it's a stormwater improvement in Holly Lake Estates.
Okay.
Facebook, you don't want war here. Great job, guys. See you. Yeah, good seeing you.
I'm supposed to be here.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it all my life.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
No. Thanks. Marcia Starkey. Yeah, just for a question.
I'll put it on the chairs list.
Last resolution, RS5, Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Day in Pasco. If you're here, if you could please come to the podium. Okay. Resolution number 24-005, a resolution by the Board of County Commissioners of Pasco County, Florida, declaring October 7th, 2023 as Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Day in Pasco County. Whereas the health and safety of all citizens in Florida is important to the happiness, prosperity, and well-being of the state's families, communities, and economy. And whereas Alzheimer's is a progressive brain disease that slowly deteriorates the brain cells, affecting one's reasoning skills and abilities to perform simple tasks, ultimately leading to memory loss. And whereas Alzheimer's cases in Florida are expected to increase by 24% from 580,000 in 2020 to more than 720,000 in 2025. And whereas more than 16,000 residents are currently living with Alzheimer's in Pasco County. And whereas Alzheimer's is the sixth leading cause of death in adults 18 or older in the United States and currently has no cure. And whereas due to no definitive interventions to prevent Alzheimer's, essential public health services of early detection, risk education, and surveillance are necessary to protect and improve the health of Pasco County citizens. And whereas citizens across Pasco County take part in the Pasco County Walk to End Alzheimer's to raise awareness and support research and care for Alzheimer's. And whereas further research of Alzheimer's is critical as it is the only cause of death among the top 10 causes in the United States that currently cannot be prevented, cured, or even slowed. And whereas changing the trajectory of Alzheimer's requires public health tools and techniques such as encouraging healthy behaviors, decreasing the number of people with undiagnosed dementia, improving medical management of dementia and comorbidities, and providing family caregivers with support to help them sustain their vital role. And whereas it is imperative that citizens with Alzheimer's receive early diagnosis and have access to quality and affordable care, and that further research of this disease continues. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Pasco County, Florida, that said board hereby proclaims October 7th, 2023 as Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Day in Pasco County. Done and resolved in regular session with a quorum present and voting this 10th day of October 2023.
The motion?
Move approve.
Second.
Roll call.
District 1 Commissioner Oakley.
Aye.
District 2 Commissioner Waitman.
Hey.
District 3 Commissioner Starkey.
Aye.
District 4 Commissioner Bradford.
Aye.
District 5 Chairman Mariano.
Aye. And ladies, thank you for coming out today. Jennifer, we've talked about this and all the great work you do to try to help people going through this. Just had a friend of mine tell me about their wife who's coming down with that situation right now. And it's such a devastating thing for a family to go through that. So if there's things we can do to help, please let us know. But, we greatly appreciate your effort and the attention you bring to the matter. Commissioner Starkey.
Yeah, so, my father-in-law, J.B. Starkey Jr., has Alzheimer's, and it's tough to watch. And I'm very hopeful that there will be a cure one day. I know they just did some good research, just came through about some of the proteins or something, but it's tough. I know so many families that deal with this problem, and thank you for all you're doing.
Commissioner Oakley.
Yes, I'd like to thank you for everything you do, and our seniors need all the care they can get, so we certainly appreciate all you do.
Commissioner Waitman.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, Fire Prevention Week and Alzheimer's unfortunately kind of go hand in hand. My grandmother had a couple of close calls towards the end, and luckily things were caught in time, and really not much to say, just a horrible disease, and takes people away from us sometimes too soon.
Commissioner Bradford. Commissioner Bradford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for the outstanding work you're doing. And I know every commissioner up there supports you, and I'm very proud to do that. This is a terrible disease. This disease has affected my family. It's touched my life, and it's not been a very pleasant experience. But I know there's hope, and hope is what we have. Hope is research. Hope is tackling this problem and basically kicking its butt. And that's what we need to do. So again, thank you all, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. And ladies?
Good morning, Honorable Pasco County Commissioners, especially Jack Mariano. My name is Sheree Chamberlain, the Development Manager for the Pasco Walked-In Alzheimer's here in Pasco County. I am honored to be here today with the Pasco Walked-In Alzheimer's Executive Chair, my girl, Jimith Rosa. I want to also thank Jimith for leading the way in Alzheimer's 2023 walk year, and all the 400 participants that came and donated for this terrible cause. Today, as of today, here in Pasco County, we have raised over $73,000 at the Walked-In Alzheimer's. We appreciate you taking the time to raise awareness for Alzheimer's disease and all those impacted here in Pasco County. As you may be aware, Florida is at the epicenter of Alzheimer's crisis. More than 580,000 Florida seniors are living with this disease. I would like to have Jimith Rosa speak on the impact Alzheimer's and dementia has on our very own family and friends here in Pasco County.
Good morning. This is Cherie's first meeting here at the County Commission in Pasco County. She's from Polk County, and she was technically telling me how wonderful you run the meetings. So congratulations. But she doesn't understand that we only have 3 minutes to talk. And she gave me the microphone. That is not good. What a wonderful way to end these proclamations today. From the first one, the libraries, goes to the infrastructure buildings, and then to the firefighters, and also planning 2050. Okay, That is wonderful, and we are closing this with Alzheimer's. They are all together in the same room, let's say, because now we have to think about how we are building homes for these people with Alzheimer's, how we can keep them busy at the libraries, doing something manual, how we can think about the future for these people with Alzheimer's. I want for you to take a moment to think about how Alzheimer's and other type of dementia have impacted your life. We heard that already. Do you know someone serving as a caregiver or is living or has passed from dementia? I do. My mother did pass away in 2019. Statistics shows that nearly everyone in this room has been impacted in one way or another by this disease. In fact, here in Pasco County, over 14,000 of our neighbors, friends, and loved ones are estimated to be living with Alzheimer's disease. 14,000 here in Pasco County. That is the thing about this disease. It impacts the entire community, especially those who serve as unpaid caregivers. In our state, Florida, we have over 827,000 Floridians providing unpaid care. That equals over 1.3 billion hours of care in a year. This removes them from working. This impact their standard of living and burden their mental and physical health. We know that many caregivers are living with their own chronic health issues. Nearly 1 in 3 have been diagnosed with clinical depression. This is one of the many reasons the Alzheimer's Association works tirelessly to raise awareness and advocate for Floridians. And let me tell you something, I joined the Pasco County Walk because in the past, like I don't know how many years ago, us in Pasco County had to go to Tampa and walk for this. So now we have our own walk right here in our backyard. Cherie?
Thank you. At the Alzheimer's Association, we lead the way to end Alzheimer's and all other dementia by accelerating global research, driving risk reduction and early detection, and maximizing quality care and support. We hope with that the support from the commissioners today, we can do more for Pasco County and other communities to support caregivers and those living with Alzheimer's and other dementia. We must drive early detection for families can access new treatment and the clinical trials available. We must ensure caregivers have access to support services. We must do everything we can to continue to push new advancements through the research. If anyone here today is struggling with this disease, please take the time to give us a call. Our association 24/7 helpline is available at 800-272-3900. Thank you for your commitment to the residents of Pasco County and a world without Alzheimer's or dementia.
Yeah, thank you. Board members, join me down. Yeah. We've got a presentation scheduled for time certain for 11, so we'll do that now. Tampa Bay Water, long-term master water plan update.
Welcome, Chuck.
All righty, it's up there, and I want to say good morning, first of all, and thank you for inviting me today to give you an update on our agency's activities. My name is Chuck Carden, and I'm the General Manager of Tampa Bay Water, which is your regional water supply wholesaler. Commissioner Oakley and Commissioner Waitman currently sit on our Tampa Bay Water Board, and Commissioner Oakley is our current chair. Commissioner Starkey and Mariano have previously represented the county and the board in the past, so thank you very much for everybody. And I think Commissioner Bradford, he's on the line. He may be next. So 4 out of 5. We were created 25 years ago by you and 5 other governments to serve building innovative alternative water supply sources to meet the region's needs. We have the unequivocal obligation to supply all the water our member governments need. And the members include your county, Hillsborough, Pinellas County, the cities of Newport Richey, St. Petersburg, and the city of Tampa. Tampa's membership is unique in that they can self-supply up to 82 million gallons a day of drinking water from their existing surface water treatment plant. Any water above the 82 is supplied by Tampa Bay Water. One of our main goals when we were created was to reduce groundwater pumping so the environment could recover, and we've done that. Here is how we are currently meeting your drinking water needs. We have a very diverse and flexible water supply system that uses groundwater, river water, and desalinated seawater. Prior to 1998, we were 100% groundwater reliant. Now the ratio is 60% groundwater and 40% surface and desalinated seawater. Our current budgeted supply for this fiscal year is 198 million gallons a day, and that does not include the 82 million gallons a day that Tampa supplies itself. Our current wholesale rate that we charge all the members is about $2.60 per 1,000 gallons. And as I'm very sure you're aware, we continue to grow as a region. Hillsborough County and Pasco County are the fastest growing areas for us. Pasco is 18% of our supply demands. Just to give you a reference, I used to work for Pasco County when I first started out in 1987, and it's doubled. Pasco's take has doubled since my memory from how much water you take. We are also currently working to develop additional pumping and transmission pipeline capacity to help increase the supply to the southern Hillsborough County area. We are working with Hillsborough County on a new booster pump station to increase system capacity by at least 5 million gallons a day. We're also working to put in a new pipeline system to deliver up to an additional 65 million gallons a day. And we are working on a new supply well to deliver 2.3 million gallons a day. It is important that we try to save all we can to offset the need and the cost to build new water supplies. We have an incentive-based rebate program called Tampa Bay WaterWise. Our goal in this rebate program is to save up to 4 million gallons a day by the year 2030 by using rebates for residential toilets and irrigation technologies such as soil moisture sensors, commercial fixtures such as spray valves, urinals, toilets, and cooling towers. And just to give you some numbers, the program has issued over 4,800 rebates, and Pasco County has issued 924 of them, which is a savings of over 27,000 gallons, or 12% of the total amount saved to date. But the demand management isn't enough by itself. We also need to add new water supplies to meet your needs into the future. And this chart shows our current planning horizon. The gray line is the member government demands, and the red line represents the trigger for us to expand the system. Right now, we are expanding our existing surface water treatment plant to meet the demands in the 2028 timeframe, and that's that first step up you see on the red line. The next water supply is anticipated to be needed by the year 2033, and we estimate that we will need an additional 10 to 20 million gallons a day at that time. Our planning process starts with what we call the long-term master water plan, and it looks at demands, growth, and a variety of supply options. We update the plan every 5 years, and we look out 20 years as our planning horizon. Options are analyzed and screened down to recommended shortlisted projects that go into what we call the feasibility phase. Once feasibility studies are completed, the board will then be asked to vote on projects to move into the design and construction phase to meet the future demands. Tampa Bay Water is currently in the first step of the process for the 2033 supply options, and we are down to a short list of projects that we are recommending for further feasibility studies. And here are the 7 project concepts that are on the short list to be recommended as part of the current long-term master water plan. These projects represent a diversity in locations, sources of supply, and they have differing yields and initial projected cost. You will see there are options that range from anywhere from the additional surface water to expanding the desal plant, to also exploring the use of additional groundwater through new well fields or through the existing consolidated permit. Option G is a project that uses the benefit of credits from the injection of treated reclaimed water. Hillsborough County's project is called the SHARP project. They put water in deep wells on the coast to stop saltwater intrusion, and it does increase the pressure and increases the water levels inland, which may allow us to take some fresh water about 3 or 4 miles inland in Hillsborough County. These are the shortlisted projects that we are recommending our board move into the feasibility phase, and we are planning to bring that to the board in November for a vote. In addition to the feasibility studies, we are also evaluating potential potable reuse projects for future consideration, and we call those development alternatives. These projects require longer studies, additional investigation, and they need time for regulations to even be implemented at this time. Right now, we know that the city of Tampa, Hillsborough County, and Pinellas County have excess reclaimed water that could be used for either direct or indirect reuse projects in the future. The water we provide to our member governments meets all federal, state, and local standards. We recently completed a water quality study that looks at removing total organic carbon, which will provide the utilities a greater operational control. The study revealed that the treatment for total organic carbon removal can also be used for other contaminants of emerging concern. Per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, or PFAS for short, has been in the news nationally, and I do want to spend a few minutes on the subject. PFAS compounds do not originate in water supplies. They are man-made substances that enter the environment, which includes drinking water sources, once the products are discarded. Tampa Bay Water and the member governments, including Pasco County, began testing for PFAS as part of the National Environmental Protection Agency study. It's called the UCMR5 testing. This is for unregulated PFAS compounds. There's 29 of them that we have to test for. The study calls for 12 months of quarterly testing, and all our members are doing that along with Tampa Bay Water at the same time. The first sampling event was completed, and the regional system, there was 2 locations that were reported with the 1 compound of PFAS just slightly over the proposed limit of 4 parts per trillion. All of the other sample locations were less than the EPA's proposed limit or not detected. And once we have the final EPA's final regulations, we expect those to be coming out in early 2024. We will have some data from our EPA sampling study, and we will determine any treatment recommendations to our board of directors if need be. And with that, I'd like to thank you for all allowing me the opportunity to present today. But before I finish, I did want to bring up something that we declared last week. It's called the Stage 1 Water Shortage Mitigation Declaration. It was in the local news. You might have caught some of that. But what it is it's a water shortage mitigation plan that Tampa Bay Water has that looks at rainfall, stream flow, and our reservoir storage, and they are used as indicators of the health of the region's water supplies. The plan has 4 stages, and last week we entered into stage 1 of the plan due to the average rainfall on a 12-month rolling average being at 8.3 deficit. So anytime it goes below 5 inches of the deficit, that would trigger the phase 1 notification. And what the phase 1 notification is to allow for proactive measures to increase awareness about conserving water during these drier than normal conditions. And so with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Oakley.
Thank you, Chuck. That's a great report. One thing I'd like to tell the board about and our staff here that's with us, the desal is changing in a sense because of TECO's plant operation may change with the plant that provides the water for us to desal. And in the past, that's been like 3% of our total water supply is what the desal provides us. And it came up the other day when we did a tour there last week that the fact of it is that we could use brackish water wells, which are like 1,000-foot deep or what, to feed the desal plant, be less salt to take out, but it'd be cleaner water, and we could run the plant many more days than we do today, which would provide more water in that. And it's provided at a lesser cost than we're having right now. So that in itself is really an eye-opener for me for the fact that we could have a lot more desal water that can be cleaned and provided for our citizens. So I think that's one of the avenues we're looking at, and it's really a good one. It's an eye-opener when you think about it, because that water come right out of the ground and it'll be clean. There's a lot of debris and all we face, that the water we get now to desal, a lot of trash in it we have to clean out before it comes in, but this would be a lot better way, and a way we could run the plant maybe 300 days a year rather than, I don't know, it's about 6 months or so like that, but it's a shortage. It can produce 25 million a day, but this other way it might end up producing a lot more than that. So
Exciting stuff.
it's good.
Mr. Starkey.
Well, I enjoyed my time on Tampa Bay Water. And it's great to see you here today, Chuck. And I know we were all a little frustrated how long it took to get that South Hillsborough County deal going. But that's underway, and you're under great leadership with our commissioner over here, who I know is very excited to be chairing Tampa Bay Water. So I did want to give, well, off the record, when we're not on camera, I'm gonna give you an office you need to go call and tell them to fix their toilets. You need to get on the low flow toilets, but I won't embarrass them here on live TV. But welcome, and thanks for all the good work you do. And thank you very much as well for working with us as we go to put in our Orange Belt Trail across the county, which we think will be an amazing trail for the community. I know it's going a little bit through the well field there, and we appreciate the cooperation working together to get that through.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Very good. Commissioner Waitman.
Thank you, Chair. And yeah, it's pretty neat to have Commissioner Oakley be our chairman on Monday mornings. And it was a good meeting, and it's interesting subject matter always. Mr. Carden, at our last meeting, you touched on PFAS and the markers, and there's not really real hard guidelines from the Fed. And from time to time, we have folks that come up in our board meetings and ask about PFAS. Would you explain kind of how we're currently, the recommendations behind PFAS, what's good, what's bad, like you did at our last Tampa Bay water meeting? I think that'd be interesting info for folks to know. And then when we talk to our federal delegation, just some good talking points for them, what we might be able to advocate for to protect our water and our folks.
Yes, sir. Thank you. As I said briefly earlier, the PFAS, they're man-made compounds. They've been around since probably the 50s, 60s. And they're in a lot of products that we use today, frying pans and raincoats and firefighting foam. But they did get into the environment, and they are called their nickname is forever chemicals. They don't go away on their own, and so treatment is necessary. They have been on EPA's list of unregulated compounds, which they give you guidelines. There is no regulation for PFAS currently. There used to be a number of 70 parts per trillion was a guideline for years, but EPA's been always sampling every 5 years. They ask for sampling. They're looking at making it regulated compounds starting next year. They haven't settled completely on a number, but right now they're looking at 4 parts per trillion to treat it. So what that would do is if you go over 4 parts, you would have to find a treatment to take care of it. Currently, that is granular activated carbon or ion exchange or even reverse osmosis to get it underneath the 4 parts per trillion. But one of the things that's going on also is lawsuits to the manufacturers who put it there to help offset the cost if a utility needs to spend a lot of money for the treatment of it. That would be something that we're looking at. But with the numbers we've seen, we've only taken 1 quarterly sample. It was in July. Our next sampling starts next week, actually, October 16th, the second quarter. We have worked with all of the 6-member governments to coordinate with them, a communications plan so that we're all messaging and saying the same things. We're also getting out ahead of it. We're not running from it. We want to talk to the public. We want to help them understand what it is. We're talking to the media. But the results were, like I said, we sampled 15 spots in the Tampa Bay distribution. There was 2 right at 4, and the rest were undetectable or below the 4. The member governments each did their own testing, and they found similar results. There was not any numbers that were above or alarming over what the concentrations they're talking about. So in retrospect, we're in pretty good shape with that. The whole nation is doing this as we speak. We started in 2023, and all the testing has to be done by 2025. You do 4 quarterly samples, and they're averaged together. So we don't know exactly what seasonality will do. We did the summer, and now we're about to do October, which I was going to say fall, but in Florida, I think we don't have much of a distinction between fall and summer. So we will get the results, and then we will make recommendations, if any, to our board, whether we need to do some treatment for it, depending on the results of it.
Can I ask you questions on the PFAS? Does a RO system clean that?
Yes, ma'am, it would remove that.
Skills is in an area that is not regulated. It's not one of our service delivery areas. It's that Sunshine utility that was, I don't remember the name of the company before they named themselves Sunshine. I think they're out of Canada. And they have 7 wells in that area. It's in the Darlington community. And I need to check if Metropolitan Ministries is in with them. And they had 7 contaminated wells, way over the limit. And they couldn't close them all because then they couldn't deliver any water. So I asked if they would let us come in and take over, and they said no. And they sent a letter to all the residents. No one complained. I think there may be a lot of rentals there. But Amskills is in that area, and we were very concerned because we by law had to put water fountains in, but I didn't want anyone drinking out of those water fountains. So we're going to get they said we were going to get an RO system in there. But I'm concerned about this, especially in that area where the levels are really high.
I was going to talk about that a little bit, but I think maybe we should, especially with Amskills right there, we should bring that, maybe that's what we need to send to the PSC to let them know this is what's going on and find out what the PSC is going to do about it.
It seems like that when there is an availability to be able to deliver uncontaminated water to the level that they have, that there should be a mechanism where we can go in and help those people. But they would not let us come in.
It should be unsatisfactory water, and there should be a should be a knockdown as far as their rate of return, if nothing else.
And I'm not sure, if someone sells the house and the new family moves in, they didn't get that letter from 4 or 5 years ago or 4 years ago. I brought it to the attention of Tampa Bay Water and the attorney when we were discussing the litigation. But anyway, it's a
Are
problem.
they, Chuck, do you know if they're governed by the state agency, so
It'd be under the same rules, the sample and test. If they
Right.
cannot get under, when they do propose that as law, those regulations, if they can't get under, they would be breaking the law. They have 3 years, what we're hearing is that when EPA does set the limits and calls it to be law, if you're over, you have 3 years to get the treatment and get it fixed. So if they don't do that, they would be breaking the law, and they could come in and this federal government could shut them down.
looks like if it was some contaminant you were putting in water that you're serving the people, that you'd have some kind of action quicker than that, because for 3 years, people could be getting something that would harm them, so wouldn't want that to happen, so.
Somebody to get on right away. Commissioner Bradford.
I'll be brief, but I did want to tell Commissioner Oakley that I'll be looking to him for guidance and mentoring on water issues. I am just not educated in those areas. Chuck, you're doing a great job. Keep up the work. I know every board member supports you and your organization. And finally, when I look to Commissioner Starkey, it's about trails. And she will keep me educated on trails loud and forcefully. So, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Oakley, I'm glad you brought up about the desal plan. As I had heard from a previous meeting we're in, and I think it's great that we're looking for a cheaper way to produce it, because the one reason we only ran it at like 25% capacity or even 5% capacity was because it was so expensive. So it's a great asset to have when we need it, but if there's a way to make it work better and cheaper with this new system, new source, then fantastic.
There's people studying that right now.
Yeah.
And they've told me that it would be cheaper than the operation we already have. So
That's very exciting.
Delighted to hear that.
that's very exciting to hear that.
So Commissioner Stark, you actually touched on something that you didn't want to mention, but I'm going to go a little further with it. I was in a hotel this past year down in Pinellas County, and it had been renovated, but it had old toilets in it. I was at my mother's house yesterday. I just noticed she's got a high flow toilet. She's with a condo association. Her water bill is paid by the condo association. For her, and I'll say probably all the other members of that association and others all around the region, there's no incentive for them to go get a new toilet other than for the goodwill of their heart. There's also the opportunity where associations right now are paying probably higher than ever insurance costs, trash costs, pickup costs, et cetera. So they're getting squeezed tremendously. I think we should look at doing something between condominiums, all homeowners associations that supply in bulk. Let's get with SwiftMud, let's get with Tempe Water, the Pasco County Utilities, and let's go put an incentive plan out there. And maybe what we need to do is not do a one by one, but let's go do them all.
But Jack, that woman that was here from SwiftMud, she was talking about that program. I can't remember what it's called, where you can go in and get massive savings.
Whatever it may be.
Retrofitting.
So this, I mean, I knew you were coming here at some point, so I'm glad it's here today to talk about it. But whatever it may be, we need to get SwiftMud, Tempe Water, Pasco County Utilities, Pinellas and Hillsborough all together, and let's go look at these big projects that are out there. For all the conservations that's out there that can be done, is that have else. So before I would say that I want to see these other projects get done, though the desal, I want to see that keep on rolling. I want to see this looked at real closely. Again, every single business should have it in there. And if we're doing inspections on companies, if they're going to do business here in the county, they should be on low flow. We should be conserving. If they're a hotel, HOA, let's make it easy for the HOAs to get in there. Anything that's bulk water, every single toilet should be looked at, as well as faucets.
I appreciate those comments. You know, I had a slide for our Water Wise program. We have a program manager, Amanda Brown. That is specifically what they're targeting right now, what you just talked about. That's a lot of potential with the apartments and going in there in bulk. And so she will be getting with Pasco and the Swift Fund. We'll see what else we can do. But I know she's got several going on. That is where we need to focus on with the rebates. They are out there. We just need to get the word out and talk to folks.
And again, it's got to be a different mindset. And again, going to Home Depot, and I had done one a bit ago, your flyer that's on the toilets that do qualify with SwiftMud, et cetera, is great. It stimulates, okay, let's go do this. We can save money on the price of the toilet. You still have the expense of the plumbing to be done from the plumber, unless you're going to do it yourself, or even the extra price of the toilet to get what you want compared to what's, with the price of the rebate. So the opportunity for that, for the people, I love the way you've got that set up, and it's an improvement from what we had before as well. I know we just can do better, but we've got to look at those missed situations, the hotels, apartments, and the HOAs that just get it in bulk. Because if people don't have an incentive to go do it, it's not going to happen. And there's got to be them all over the place where we can make these changes. And I think what we need to do is set up, not only just with the cost of the toilet itself, let's go set up a bulk program through Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever, all the plumbers as well. Let's get them in. So if you're going to go replace an apartment complex, get them all to bid on it. Get them all out there. It's got to be great work, local work, which they'd all want to see. So I would love to see this done. If we need a workshop, let's go bring a workshop. But it's not just Pasco either. We need the other counties with us.
I agree.
Okay. I'll let the chairman run with that down in Tampa Bay Water.
That's good.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
All right. No.
Well, thank you very much for coming
Thank
up.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for chatting.
We did turn 25. I didn't mention that so much, but we did turn 25 this year.
Oh, yeah.
I saw Mr. Carvalho has his Tampa Bay Water 25th anniversary cup mug. So, that picture of the recovery that I showed, that's why we were put together 25 years ago. So those,
Right.
to
And
show
I've got-
pictures like that.
In my ordinary business today, I've got a report on the tour and the 25 years, so.
Excellent.
I've got it.
Chuck, I'm sorry I didn't make it to the event in Tampa. I thought I was going out of town. I had a lot.
Very nice.
But is that film or the presentation that Michelle put together, is that available for
It
watching?
will be. Michelle's right here, but I know what we're trying to have it run on PBS, WEDU, for the month of November. And so we're kind of waiting on that to get launched. And then that will be available to everybody to download it. And it's an awesome video of how I got here, standing here. Get a job.
That's good.
And Chuck, I'd like to say, 25 years ago, this was a monumental task for these three counties to get together to take care of a problem that was.
That's been very
was
good
huge.
for Pasco County.
And to keep it running on with your leadership, with the whole region's leadership, it's a model for the nation. So thanks for the great work you guys are all doing down there.
I appreciate
Good.
those
Thank
nice
you.
words. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, now we'll go to the consent agenda. I have 3 items to be removed. C30.
I don't have a full sheet
Okay,
There's 4, Jack. I added one.
where it would be, but,
okay. So we
okay, I
have-
got one now.
C36, C40, C70, in fact, C36 is withdrawn. So C40, C71, and then C45. Are there any other items you want to add?
I move we approve all other items left on the consent agenda.
Second.
Roll call?
District 1, Commissioner Oakley.
Aye.
District 2, Commissioner Waitman.
Aye.
District 3, Commissioner Starkey.
Aye.
District 4, Commissioner Bradford.
Aye.
District 5, Chairman Mariano.
Aye. Okay, we'll go to C40. Mr. Urin?
Good morning, Commissioners. The item was pulled just because we had an inaccurate reference to the invitation for bid number. So we've corrected the reference on the agenda memo, and we ask for your approval of this so we can get working on the construction of the widening of Old Pasco Road and overpass.
Thank you. Any questions?
Approval.
Move approval?
Second.
Any further discussion? Call the roll.
District 1, Commissioner Oakley.
Aye.
District 2, Commissioner Waitman.
Emphatically, aye.
District 3, Commissioner Starkey.
Aye.
District 4, Commissioner Bradford.
Aye.
District 5, Chairman Mariano.
Aye. And Nick, thanks for all the great work you're doing. We appreciate it. So C71.
Anderson, Parks Recreation Manager, Parks Rec and Natural Resources. 71 had incorrect fiscal year throughout the agenda memo, so we've updated it to fiscal year 24. And there's construction bonds attached, and so we updated the distributions section so board records knows how to distribute the bonds.
Okay, good with the clerk? Okay. Any further discussion? Okay.
Approval?
Do we have a second? Roll call?
District 1, Commissioner Oakley.
Aye.
District 2, Commissioner Waitman. District 3, Commissioner Starkey.
Aye.
District 4, Commissioner Bradford.
Aye.
District 5, Chairman Mariano.
Aye. Thank you. And Commissioner Starkey?
I was trying to see what the project was, and I just can't tell what we're doing there, so just tell me what we're doing, that would be great. This is right behind where that that workforce housing project is going, Dominion by Anclote High School. Yeah.
Morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. I'm Jason Mickle, Public Works Director. Thanks for having me up here this morning. This project is well needed in that area, as you know, Commissioner. A lot of old infrastructure, very low-lying roads. It's been piecemeal together there for quite some time. This is about a one-year study. It's going to look at full flood abatement for that area.
Okay, it's a study.
Yep, it's just a study for the first year. There's also a water quality component that's going to be part of that study as well to see where we can improve some of the water quality that leaves that area. So full-scale study, and then we'll look, what comes out of that study, we'll look to implement some type of project after that.
So why is it limited to just that?
So on your map, in your
Yes,
packet.
when that's a big neighborhood. It's just one little area.
We're going to look at the majority of the neighborhood, but those two specific spots are the lowest lying areas that we want to focus on. Those are the ones that have suffered some damage in the past from flooding.
And that's our land behind it, right? With that, we have an easement behind it.
I believe so.
That's the easement that I hope that we can help the community get to the park along that easement. All those homes, if they could get behind there, they could connect to the Holiday Rec Center without having to get out on Ankle Boulevard, go all around Strawburn, down and around, or down to 19 and around. So it would make a lot of sense for us to have a pedestrian golf cart, whatever it could be. Very easy since we own it all. We just need a bridge to go over whatever that little canal is into the park land. So I don't know if that could be part of your look-see, but, or fix. Yeah, okay, thank you. Move to approve?
Second.
And just to say, by doing the study in this here, it provides the opportunity to get a grant later on, so great step forward. Thank you, Mr. Carmella. And Jason. All in favor, roll call. Call the roll.
District 1, Commissioner Oakley.
Aye.
District 2, Commissioner Waitman.
Aye.
District 3, Commissioner Starkey.
Aye.
District 4, Commissioner Bradford.
Aye.
District 5, Chairman Mariano.
Aye. And now move to Commissioner items. Commissioner Oakley.
We're already ready for that?
We do have one other R item. I don't know if-
R55, okay, sorry. We have R55, sorry.
Yeah, I thought so.
R73.
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 Not gonna get to commissioner items today. I don't think.
I get that. So
Is
R73.
this a 15-minute item, or is this?
He'll make
Don't
sure,
finish it, we can always.
he'll make sure it makes it.
11-minute.
It's important.
It is important.
Go ahead.
Morning, Commissioners, Mr. Chairman. This next item is a continuation of a planning discussion that first came about in, I believe, June, at the September 19 Board of County Commissioners meeting. There was a discussion about car washes and how to go about amending the land development code and what kind of code changes we can do to facilitate better planning associated with car washes. Those included imitating the self-storage ordinance, section 1105 of the land development code, making a code similar to self-storage for car washes, establishing proximity requirements between car washes so that you don't have a bunch of them all in one location, taking up valuable commercial frontages on our corridors, and then also providing for some design standards for those car washes. And the board directed the planning department to go forth and to make those draft amendments and to be presented later to the Board of County Commissioners in the next couple of months. Today we're here to talk about drive-through facilities and parking lots and the ability to influence commercial development and make for a better public environment and public space, or public realm rather, for those commercial developments. And I'd like to introduce our principal planner from long-range planning, Mr. Chris DeMonch, who's going to walk through a presentation with regard to those drive-through facilities and parking lots and how they influence development.
Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, Chris DeMonch, Planning and Development. It's good to be back before you. We had a great discussion last month discussing the car wash business item. And of course, we're back here today to talk more with you about the drive-through facilities associated with fast food restaurants, financial institutions, pharmacies, and other similar uses. Looking forward and seeking your guidance and direction, we'd like to discuss some site plan organization, building location, and site circulation items with you. We have some different photos we're going to show you and kind of walk you through some ideas that we have. We're looking to design and develop guidelines for sites with drive-through facilities, specifically looking at placing parking to the side and the rear of buildings and reducing stacking requirements. We're also looking at locating buildings close to roads or internal streets with guidelines to distinguish between major arterial roads and local roads and streets. We want to prioritize parking to the side and rear of buildings. We want to optimize landscaping and, of course, providing more communication between sites and buildings and creating space between the buildings without the use of buffer yards. And of course, we want to establish code flexibility for sites that cannot meet the above proposed changes that I've just mentioned. And of course, we want to include the ability to place parking or drive-through facilities between buildings and the road and street. And of course, we have some concept illustrations we want to show you. The first illustration we have here is a mid-block site design. As you can see, the drive-through facility is located closer to the roadway. The drive-through itself is located behind the building. There's a large amount of landscaping, particularly along the drive-through itself, that provides substantial buffering from vehicles as well as noise that may come from the drive-through facility itself. But again, this is an example of a mid-block site design, something that we believe we could certainly implement here in Pasco County. Next, we have an out-parcel site design. In this example, the drive-through facility is an out-parcel associated with an existing mall. It's on a corner. Again, the emphasis is to provide the drive-through facility towards the rear of the drive-through itself, providing good circulation overall throughout the site, but keeping the building closer to the road, making the building itself be the sign, providing more communication to those driving by of what's there on that particular parcel.
Can I ask you a question before we go further? So I'm looking at these sites, and you get a lot of parking spaces there. Most of you drive through car washes when they're done. There's vacuums and everything else set up.
That's not a car wash.
This is a drive-through facility.
Just drive-through facility?
Yeah.
All right, never mind. Look at that. Okay.
Yes, that's correct. So this is a drive-through facility, but...
Thought that at first, too. That's how that worked.
Okay.
But this is an example of what you could see with an out parcel. Again, bringing the building closer, communicating more with the site itself, and providing greater visibility to those walking by as well as driving by, with the building itself being the sign. Next, we have a multi-tenant building site design. In this, we have more of a synergy between two separate buildings. The drive-through itself is located along the rear of the site. It's shielded through not only landscaping, but keeping it towards the rear of the drive-through facility itself. Between the two buildings, we have some outside dining area. We have area for people to walk and meet and converse. with this particular type of design, you're not having to get back in your car and go to another building, as is the case in many areas around the county. You have two buildings. You could have complementary uses here. You could have an ice cream parlor next to a fast food or some other type of commercial use where people have a reason to go to one as well as the other, or they may have an idea to go to one because they're visiting, the commercial use or the drive-through facility. So
I'm so excited about this because if you see what's in the front there, it takes some of that space and makes it, it activates that space between the buildings for good public use. Yeah, it's very good.
Of course, this is an example of Culver's. It's Culver's from out of state, but it's a great example of what you can do when you bring the buildings closer to the roadway. Again, the building acts more of the sign than the monument sign you see there in the photo. You have a sidewalk in front of the building site itself, parking to the rear. So it's much more visible than if this building was set back with parking in front of it between the roadway and the building itself. Now, there are instances where, you're on an arterial roadway and it may be better suited to not place the buildings as closely to the road as I've just shown in the previous examples. The drive-through facilities or commercial use overall may be part of a larger site, and so it may be more advantageous to bring the buildings closer to an interior roadway or an interior drive. And an example we can show you is North Point Village Shopping Center on 54. And of course, we have Point Village Drive, and of course, the buildings themselves are brought closer to this internal drive, and you'll see that there is parking between the buildings and State Road 54.
If I could make a comment on this one. So my son and daughter-in-law live in Greenwich, Connecticut, very nice community. And when they come to visit, this is where she wants to go because she said, everywhere else that we go is a strip mall. So this is a great little walkable, tiny little example of what we could have more of. Yeah.
Now, these next few photos, they don't show a drive-through facility, but they certainly express the concept that we are proposing to you today that we believe would be real beneficial for site planning purposes. In this, you see the buildings are closer. There's a sidewalk in front of the buildings. There's walkability throughout this development here on both sides of North Point Drive. And of course, there's the parking area that is between the buildings and State Road 54. So this particular type of setup works best for this particular type of roadway. And of course, we have Glory Days. This is a full-service restaurant, but as you can see in the picture, we have the parking on the side and the rear of the building. The building itself is brought closer to the roadway. There's a sidewalk that in a crosswalk area as well in the photo. This is an example we have. This is EOS Fitness. If you're driving east on State Road 54, planning staff worked closely with the applicant on this site plan. Instead of having parking located between the roadway itself and the building, we were able to work with them on bringing the building closer to the roadway and having the parking to the side of the building. And as you're driving along this road, you can certainly see that building much more clearer. The building itself really serves as a sign versus if this was set back like you typically see with some larger buildings or strip centers.
It's a great example. Look to the left and look to the right. And look what all these businesses are doing with the signs. They all got pretty much illegal signs out there because whatever. That's a really good picture.
Now, we realize too that there are small parcels and they may not be able to meet these standards. So we've put together some sketches. One of our planners on staff, Jenny DeGranda, put together some sketches for us that really showcase what can still be accomplished, not necessarily with parking strictly to the side or to the rear, but just we wanted to show some examples. So this is one where you could be on a corner site. Next, we have 2 additional small lot designs. This would be a mid-parcel example. And of course, we found an example out of state. This is Stan's Donuts and Coffee. Now, what's interesting about this particular site is it's a small site. There is parking to the side. However, they do have the drive-through wrap around one half of the building and it loops in the front. But you really can't see that driveway that comes in the front of the building because they've added the addition of the pergola between, the building and the, I should say the drive-through lane is located between the building and the pergola. The pergola adds a nice dimension to the site. It takes away some of the visibility that you would see of vehicles exiting the drive-through itself. And so this is another example of what we could see and really push for going forward. And of course, there's obviously as the examples I've shown where you have the small lots and you can't necessarily provide parking to the side and to the rear, and you have to wrap around a drive-through lane in front of the building. We'd like to present some ideas that we have with by right versus conditional use options. By having this, you enable flexibility within the Land Development Code. When site conditions present these design challenges, you can look at permitting drive-through facilities by right when parking is provided on the side of the rear. You could require conditional use permit approval when parking cannot be limited to the side of the rear of buildings. And lastly, you could require conditional use permit approval if the drive-through facility and/or travel aisle is located within the setback area between the building facade and the street. So we wanted to throw that out there as something that staff could come back to you with for flexibility within the Land Development Code. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
I'd like to make a comment. I love the picture when you showed Culver's and it made a mention of the sign. With Culver's, the building's right to the road. The monument sign, which is small, hard to see from bushes and landscaping, et cetera. And I think it's been a big problem on US 19 as far as people redeveloping, et cetera, just because you're not going to see the sign because you're going to be driving past it by the time you get there. But like you said, that building is now the sign, and it's a much more prominent feature. I would love to see us to try to put some type of program together, start up and down 19, where we can take these lots that are already set up, let them redevelop, because some of them will tear the building down, and let's try to get to that type of structure. Because if they get the parking to the sides and that building's closer to the street, all of a sudden that even sign
Charlie's just did
needs to
that
go away.
on 19 in Holiday. They put the building up close to the street. I could show you a picture here when we come back.
I think I just drove by it. So I think this is something, and again, with the struggle we have on 19, I think this would work up and down real easy.
Yeah, this would work everywhere.
I think it'd be phenomenal.
Frankly, we're a little late to this show. This is what most places are doing.
Well-
I think Terry was doing this in his previous job somewhere else, so I'm glad that they brought it to us.
So let me ask, does anyone else in other places maybe that you've done it, do other people, have they put incentives out there to make this happen for redevelopment?
A lot of times it's in the code itself. It's not so much of incentive. It's just it's a standard that's adopted by that community. But maybe Terry can speak a little more to it from his experience.
Typically, the incentive is the by right aspect of it, that if you build as the community wants it, it's able to get in a lot quicker. And so there's a time component associated with that. But the bigger incentive, of course, is the economic one. Bringing the building closer to the street has a huge, makes a huge impact and a huge emphasis to the corridor itself. If you notice in this picture, all the way in the back, there is your typical shopping center, which you can't tell because you see that there's even a McDonald's and Culver's, which are corporate type businesses. They have taken the frontage and they're making money on the frontage. And that's really the incentive that a lot of these businesses and companies will get when they follow through with this type of design.
And again, I think part of the reason US 19 struggled so much is just because it's so hard to redevelop because it's expensive. Tearing down buildings is not cheap. going forward, but something like this, if there's a way that we can push it, I mean, for fresh development, great. I mean,
Absolutely.
that helps the out parcels, and I love the impetus for that.
If this were to happen on US 19, they would get the redevelopment incentive for mobility fees that we have in place. And they would be able to participate in the existing incentive programs that we have. We could tie them together and advertise it better so that people can understand that if they were to do something like this, you get good timing through the code, but also you'd be able to participate, especially on 19, in certain incentives.
I would love to be,
Yeah.
let's put a push to make this happen.
Does this Culver's have a drive-through?
Yes, it's at the rear.
Where's it at?
It's in the.
Is there a driveway on this side of the building, between the street and the?
No, it's on the backside.
Hmm?
It's on the backside on that one.
Yeah.
Terry,
All right.
is this to our south? Is this in Manatee? Is this the?
No, this is actually a Culver's that I helped to design in Orland Park, Illinois.
Oh.
Yeah.
How long ago?
Southwest suburbs of Chicago.
How long ago?
This was probably 2011, 12.
Now, they did try and have us do this for a building that Barbara brought to us on Darlington and 19. And we overrode what the planning was trying to do because they wanted this building up to the street. And now it's conventional strip mall stuff. And so you can look at that as an example. But I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm 100% for this.
Well, this is very, not the architectural design, but it's very similar to a project that they've done in Manatee that is both a McDonald's and a Culver's, and that, I don't know that they're together, but they were out parcels that were created from a shopping center that was not going very well.
Yes.
Let's put it that way. And so they cut the 2 or 3 out parcels along the street, built new projects there, and then redeveloped the shopping center in the back. So that's a.
And that's a very familiar story. That's exactly what happened in this case too. A shopping center not doing well, they carved or subdivided parcels out front, took old parking lots that were just empty parking lot, nobody parked there, and planted 2 buildings.
So,
The one thing you have to avoid in doing that from a planning perspective is cutting too many lots along the street frontage so you don't see the shopping center in the back, because I've seen that done too.
Right.
you know, it's interesting that we're having this discussion because I've been noticing if you go to the Target in Trinity, which you guys probably don't, but others may think of this, the front corner by Mercy Way and Little Road is a place where homeless are hanging out. If you were to walk there, I've gone there to pick up trash and take out snipe signs, and it reeks of urine. No one has ever parked there because we have overparked that part of the strip center, and you have all these banks and fast foods fronting Little Road, but then you get to that corner, and you know what I'm talking about. It's empty. So I went to see if it was possible. Oh, yeah, we took some pictures. You dropped on the map? So no one ever parks over here. There's Target way the heck down there. And so all this area is used for nefarious reasons. And I would love to see us activate that corner for them and say, put in another, out parcel. We'll get more tax money. Will alleviate a problem that is happening there. But the MPUD, the credits are all taken. So I don't know what can be done. And this is owned by Target, actually. Can we do a county-initiated opportunity for them to put something in that corner? It's a win for everybody.
Sure.
But I don't know how that works, but, we could have a culvert sitting right there.
It's funny, Commissioner Stark, I've driven them many times coming in from that way, and I've kind of noticed it, but I never thought much more about it, but
Yeah.
you bring up a good point.
Yeah.
We could be much better, and then maybe the Gulfview Mall, same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, those out parcels that are out in front of them, the Sleep Member, the T-Mobile that come in there, they front right out there,
Yeah.
and they get good attention. So,
That whole mall's a mess. We need to.
Well,
figure out a
demographics
way
are
to fix
demographics,
that.
but.
We really need. we
So
have a
gentlemen,
great
are you looking for us to say, let's go forward?
Yeah, we would be looking
Yes.
for the board to give us direction to make some
Godspeed.
proposed amendments to the land development code.
I love the changes, the opportunities, and again, if we could put something out, get it out there to all the retail and whatever that wants to come in and redevelop up and down, especially 19. It could work in 41, 301 as well, but let's go take a look and see what the market says.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so with that, it's 12:10, we'll break for lunch, back at 1:30.